What if I told you that your life feels stuck, not because of bad luck, not because you're lazy or cursed, but because you're vibrating at the wrong frequency? Sounds crazy, right? But what if it's true? You try harder, you think positive, you chase goals, yet something invisible keeps pulling you back. Like you're swimming in honey, like the universe isn't listening. Maybe it isn't. Not because it's cruel, but because you're speaking the WRONG language. Not in words, but in energy. Everything. Your thoughts, your emotions. Your body is vibrating all the time. You just can't feel it because you've always been inside of it. But here's the disturbing part. You might be trapped in a low frequency loop, one that attracts chaos, pain, failure, without you even realizing it. And unless you shift that vibration, no amount of hustle, affirmations, or vision boards will change your reality. Because the universe doesn't respond to your wishes, it responds to your frequency. In this video, you're going to discover a forgotten ancient law that could explain everything. From the reason why some people attract miracles to why others live in a constant cycle of frustration. We're going to connect ancient wisdom with modern science. We'll break down what the law of vibration really means. Most importantly, how to use it to shift your reality. If that sounds like the kind of knowledge you've been searching for, then don't just watch this. Feel it. Let it challenge you. Let it wake you up. And before we begin, if this resonates with you already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so YouTube knows you want to go deeper, because what you're about to learn might just change the way you see everything. You've probably heard people say, everything is energy. But what does that even mean? Is it just a spiritual cliche or something more? Let's go deeper. Across ancient civilizations, from Egypt to India, mystics spoke of a hidden rhythm, a pulse behind reality. They didn't have particle accelerators or quantum theory, but somehow they knew. They called it different names. In Hermeticism, it's the law of vibration, the idea that nothing is still, that everything from galaxies to your thoughts is in constant motion, not metaphorically, literally. Every atom in your body, every thought in your mind is vibrating. And those vibrations aren't just background noise. They create patterns. They shape your emotions, your body, your world. Science now confirms what the ancients intuited. Quantum physics shows us that matter isn't solid. It's energy condensed into a form we can touch. Even Einstein said it. Everything is energy. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get it. So what does this mean for you? It means your life isn't random. It's a reflection of what? Of the frequency you're vibrating at. That anxiety that's stuck. Feeling it's not just in your head. It's in your frequency. And until you shift that, the same patterns will repeat again and again. But if everything vibrates, then that also means you can change it. Change the frequency, and the picture changes. That's the power of this law. That's why people who understand this don't just react to life, they create it. So now the question isn't, does it work? The question is, are you ready to take responsibility for the frequency you're sending out? Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's the part that nobody tells you. Your mind is a tuning fork. Every thought, every emotion you feel sends out a signal. Not metaphorically, but measurably. When you're afraid, angry, anxious, you're vibrating low, and low vibrations attract. Guess what? More of the same. Think of it like a radio. If you're tuned to a station called Fear FM, you can't hear love, even if it's playing loud and clear on another frequency. But here's the twist. Most people don't even realize what frequency they're on. They walk through life wondering, why do I always attract toxic relationships? Why can't I ever catch a break? Why does it feel like the universe is working against me? And the answer is vibration. You might be living in a reality you didn't consciously choose, but one you've been unconsciously tuned to. Let me show you how deep this goes. In neuroscience, we now know the brain operates in waves. Alpha, beta, theta, delta. Each state has its own frequency. Your mental state literally changes the energy your brain emits. It's not woo-woo. It's physics. When you're in a calm, focused state, alpha waves dominate. When you're anxious or multitasking, beta takes over. Go even deeper, into meditation or dreaming. Now you're in theta. Each of these states vibrate differently. Each of them creates a different field around you. Your heart emits the strongest electromagnetic field in your body. According to the Heart Math Institute, that field can extend meters beyond you. And it changes based on your emotional state. Feel love, your field becomes harmonious. Feel stress, it turns chaotic. You're like a human antenna, transmitting and receiving 24/7. Even when you sleep. And guess what? Other people feel. It ever walked into a room and instantly felt heavy? Or met someone who made you feel safe without saying a word? It's vibration. It's real. Now here's the dangerous part. If your default state is low, fear, guilt, resentment, you become magnetized to chaos. You might even feel comfortable in it, because it's familiar. And what's familiar feels safe, even when it's toxic. This is why people repeat the same mistakes, stay in the same kind of relationships, get stuck in the same jobs, because they haven't changed their frequency. They're trying to change the outer world without tuning the inner world. That's like trying to fix a blurry picture by cleaning the screen instead of adjusting the focus. So what's the solution? Raise your vibration, but not with fake positivity, not with pretending everything's fine when it's not. That's not real change. That's emotional wallpaper. True vibrational change comes from awareness, from seeing your emotional patterns and choosing differently. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people. One wakes up angry, checks the news, complains, rushes out the door, hates traffic, gossips at work. The other wakes up, breathes deeply, takes 5 minutes of silence, says thank you for being alive. Which one do you think is vibrating higher? Same world, different signal. And because of that, their entire day, their whole experience unfolds differently. Higher vibrations attract clarity, calm, insight, and synchronicities. Lower ones attract confusion, conflict, and resistance. You've seen this before, just didn't have the language. That person who walks into a room and everything flows. That's not luck, that's coherence. You have the ability to step into that, but you have to train your frequency. It's just like a muscle, and the first step is becoming aware. Notice your thoughts, observe your emotions, feel your body. It's constantly giving you feedback. Are you tense? Are you clenching your jaw? Do you feel drained around certain people? They're not random. They're signals, vibrational signals. But here's the beauty. Once you see them, you can shift them. Start with the breath. Simple, free, always available. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly, hold, exhale. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel your body calm. In that moment, you've raised your vibration. Add gratitude. Not forced, not fake, but real. Noticing something good, a smile, a warm shower, memory, hold it. Let it expand. That's the frequency of abundance. Then add presence. Look around. What do you hear? What do you see? Feel the now. This is the frequency of clarity. You're now vibrating differently than 95% of the world. And that changes everything. You'll begin to notice new people, new ideas, opportunities. It's not because they suddenly appeared, but because you finally tuned in. Remember, your frequency creates your reality, and your power is in the present. You don't need to escape your life. You just need to retune it. But some people ask, if it's that simple, why isn't everyone doing it? Here's the truth. Most people don't want to change. They want comfort. They want certainty, even if it's toxic, even if it keeps them small. Because real vibrational change, it's uncomfortable. It demands honesty. It asks you to look at the parts of yourself you've been avoiding, the anger, it's the blame, the wounds you buried under a smile. But here's the paradox. Those low vibrations, they're not enemies, they're messages. Anger says, a boundary has been crossed. Sadness says, something needs to be released. Fear says, there's uncertainty here. Pay attention. When you ignore them, they grow louder. When you listen, feel, and heal, your frequency rises. Healing isn't about erasing the pain. It's about transforming the energy behind it. Let me show you how powerful that shift can be. There was a woman who carried deep shame for years. She was abandoned by her father, grew up believing she was unworthy. She smiled for the world, but inside, she vibrated guilt, rejection, fear. Every relationship she attracted reflected that. Unavailable partners, sabotaged opportunities, illness. Until one day, she didn't try to be positive. She sat with the pain, felt it, sobbed, wrote to her younger self, said the words she never heard. You didn't deserve that. You are loved. You are whole. And something shifted, not just emotionally. Her body changed. Her energy became lighter. People said, you look different. What happened? That's vibrational healing. No pills, no performance, just realignment. This is why spiritual teachers always emphasize inner work. Because everything outside is a projection. And yes, science backs this up. In the study of epigenetics, we now know that emotional states affect gene expression. This meaning your consistent frequency can activate or deactivate genes. You can literally shape your biology with vibration. That's not magic. That's biophysics. Still think it's just woo-woo? Ask any therapist if chronic resentment affects health. Ask a cardiologist if long-term stress impacts the heart. The data is clear. Emotion is energy. Energy is vibration. And vibration is the blueprint of life. Now think about what happens when millions of people vibrate in fear, wars, pandemics, division. Now imagine what's possible. If even a small group starts to vibrate in compassion, peace, healing, that's not fantasy, it's resonance. A tuning fork placed near another will cause the second to vibrate, not by force, by alignment. You don't need to convince anyone to change. You only need to shift YOUR frequency. And your vibration becomes the invitation. That's leadership. Not control, but coherence. That's why meditation changes rooms. Why presence calms storms. Why one centered person can uplift an entire family. Because high vibration isn't louder, it's deeper, more rooted, unshakable. But don't romanticize it. Raising your vibration doesn't mean being happy all the time. It means being in integrity. It means saying no when you mean no. Resting when you're tired. Setting boundaries. Being honest about what hurts. That's what real alignment looks like. Yes, you'll lose people. Old patterns will crumble. Things will fall away. But they're not losses. They're clearings. Making space for what matches your new frequency. Remember, you're not here to force outcomes. You're here to vibrate truth. And life responds accordingly. So, the next time you feel low, ask, what am I tuned to? Is this mine or something I absorbed? What needs to shift in me? Because you're not a victim of energy, you're the source of it. You don't need to raise your vibration like it's outside of you. You are vibration. You only need to return to your natural state, which is love, peace, presence, and when you do, the universe begins to respond. Not because it's rewarding you, because now you're finally speaking the same language. If your vibration shapes your reality, then mastering your energy is not just spiritual, it's strategic. And this brings us to the next critical question. How do we practically shift our frequency every single day? Because it's one thing to understand it, it's another to live it. Let's start with your environment. Look around. What do you surround yourself with daily? Your space holds frequency. Clutter, noise, screens, chaos, all of it impacts your nervous system. Your room isn't just a place. It's a vibrational mirror. Light a candle, open a window, bring in silence. These are not aesthetics. They are tuning tools. Next, your inputs. What are you consuming? Music, news, social media, conversations. Everything you hear has a frequency. Some of it expands you, some of it compresses you. Ever noticed how one song can make you feel like flying, while another makes you numb? That's not random. That's frequency hijacking. You wouldn't eat spoiled food every day. So why feed your mind emotional poison? Unfollow the noise, mute the drama. Choose inputs that calm your nervous system and elevate your spirit. Then, your body. Your body's a living antenna, and most people are disconnected from it. Live from the neck up, all mind, no grounding. Your vibration is stored in your flesh. Trauma, joy, memory, all encoded in muscle, breath, posture. That's why somatic practices, breathwork, dance, yoga, even walking barefoot are so powerful. They help you release static from your field. Movement isn't just exercise, it's energetic maintenance. Still think this is abstract? Let me tell you about a man who shifted everything. He was successful on paper, money, status, career, but inside, chronic fatigue, panic attacks, emotional numbness. Doctors said he was fine. Tests were normal, but he knew something was wrong. So he stopped looking for pills and started listening to his body. He began journaling, tracking emotions, noticing when his heart raced, when his stomach clenched. He asked, "What is my body trying to tell me?" He changed his diet, started grounding, meditating, sitting in stillness. The anxiety didn't vanish overnight, but little by little, his energy changed. He said it felt like fog lifting. He became present, calm, alive. That's not a miracle. That's vibration in action. And the truth is, you can't fake your frequency. You can pretend to be positive. You can say affirmations all day. But if your nervous system is fried, if your emotions are suppressed, the universe feels that. People feel that. Your energy doesn't lie. So the real work? It's not performance. It's alignment. You don't attract what you want. Attract what you are, and you are what you repeatedly vibrate. So let's go deeper. Let's talk about thoughts. Every thought you repeat becomes a groove in your mind, a pattern, signal. If you constantly think I'm not enough, that thought has a frequency, and it creates experiences to prove itself true. But here's the key. You don't need to believe every thought you think. Thoughts are like clouds. They pass. You are not your thoughts. You are the space that observes them. So practice this. When a thought arises, ask, is this expanding me or contracting me? If it expands you, follow it. If it contracts you, question it. This is how you take back vibrational power. Then there's language. Words are spells. Literally. That's why it's called spelling. The words you speak carry charge. Say I'm tired 10 times, you'll feel more tired. Say I'm growing even when it's hard, and your body starts to shift. Try it. Next time you feel stuck, say out loud, something beautiful is being born in this discomfort. Feel the difference? That's resonance. Your words create ripples in your field. So speak like it matters because it does. Relationships. You are the average of the energy you allow. If you're around people who complain, judge, blame, it's like trying to meditate in a war zone. You don't have to cut everyone out, but you do need energetic boundaries because energy is contagious. Surround yourself with people who reflect your highest self, not your wounds, not your past. This doesn't mean perfection. It means alignment. Sometimes the most powerful vibrational upgrade is saying no more to what drains you. Now here's a deeper layer. Let's talk about forgiveness. Nothing lowers vibration like resentment. Holding on to past pain is like holding broken glass and wondering why you're bleeding. Forgiveness isn't about saying what happened was okay. It's about choosing to stop carrying it. Because when you hold pain, you become pain. You release it. You become free. This is vibration at the deepest level. Think about it. Who are you when you're not defending your pain? Who are you without the story of betrayal? And finally, let's talk about intention. Intention is the steering wheel of vibration. You don't need to know exactly how your life will unfold. You just need to set the frequency. Wake up and ask, what do I want to radiate today? Peace, joy, courage. Let that be your compass. And when challenges come, because they will, don't collapse. Don't say, why me? Say, what is this here to teach me? That shift alone changes your field. You are not here to chase outcomes. You are here to align with your truest frequency and let life meet you there. And when it does, you'll recognize it, because it will feel like coming home. But there's something else, something even more subtle that can block your vibration completely. You could meditate every day, eat clean, think positive, and still not see real change. Why? Because there's one invisible frequency that most people carry without realizing. It doesn't scream, it doesn't make noise, but it hijacks your energy quietly from the inside. It's the silent belief that you're not worthy. This belief lives in the background, disguised as perfectionism, people-pleasing, self-sabotage. And unless you expose it, you'll keep sending mixed signals to the universe. And life will keep mirroring that confusion back to you. So, how do you clear that frequency? How do you uncover what's been silently draining your power? That is a whole other level of the journey. And if you're ready to go there, then keep watching. Because what's coming next might finally reveal the one block you didn't even know you had. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.